How y'all doing? Let's go.
How's your neck?
It's doing better. Doing better. I mean, just nerve stuff, but I mean, Coach Rule will cover anything y'all have to have about, injuries.
Something you dealt with before though, Cam?
Yeah.
You ever had, is it something you ever had surgery on?
No.
It's something you think you gonna have just deal with it, will pop up from time to time?
I mean, we'll see, man. It's a long year. Said, man, try to get as healthy as possible before Sundays. That's all we can do.
What are the discussions like between the offensive linemen and to try to get more protection for Sam?
I mean, if we're being 100% honest, we know we haven't blocked as well as we needed to the last couple of weeks, but I mean, it's growing pains. There's been a lot of different guys going in there. I mean, last week you saw an elite right tackle play on the left, and it's just different. I mean, that's what I've been trying to tell people for years after playing all five. I mean, it's different, but I mean, we understand and we have a sense of urgency that to go out and block and do what we need to do. I mean, we believe in each other. We believe in what we got in that room. So, I mean, everything else is just kind of outside noise. We just have to be sharp. We have to execute, and we have to just play with an edge. I mean, that's just point blank. Period.
You guys only had your full deck basically one game this year, week 2 against the Saints. What would it mean if you were out there, Pat was out there, and had everybody, at least the projected starters, would be out there for the first time since then?
I mean, it feel good, I mean, we're working towards all that. I mean, it's just like I said, we go through a whole training camp playing beside one person. You develop a communication, you develop chemistry, and somebody else steps into that spot. It's hard. They have to play catch up, and when you go, like I said, man, it's just a lot of different combinations, and communication is the biggest thing on offensive line, being able to communicate effectively without telling your whole play. And, I mean, that's just a big part of what we do. So just trying to get back out there and get healthy. I mean, everybody on this team is just trying to do the same thing. Just get back out there.
Cam, will you have one of the Vikings, do they kind of line up on one end and stay there, or do they flip their guys around?
Traditionally, I mean, I feel like the Vikings did, but this year they've kind of switched guys, and Danielle Hunter will rush over the left more than I've seen him rush over the left in his career. I mean, Everson Griffin stays on the left most of the time, but I mean, like, it's NFL. I mean, you got to be ready for everything. You prepare for everybody who's on the field. You have to know your personnel.
So it sounds like you think you'll see both of them.
Most definitely.
Experience against both those guys over the years, or one more than other?
I played against Everson a few years ago in Kansas City, and I played with him in Dallas last year. So, I mean, his reputation speaks for itself. I mean, he has the potential to be a Hall of Fame player. I mean, he's done a lot of great things in his career, and he plays with a high motor still. What is his year? 11 for him? 12. So, I mean, that's one of those games you have to be ready to go out and play on the edges, both sides, because they have 2 elite pass rushers. So.
Frustrating at all, you get back, Pat looks like he's back, and now Christian looks like Pat stepped back a little bit.
I mean, it's like I said, man, it's football. We have to. We all understand that it's next man up, and we understand that it's a long season. We understand that injuries happen and things happen that we can't control. So all we can do is control what we can control, and rehab and do everything we can to try to get back on the field. I mean, Christian's one of our best players. We all know that. So, I mean, him not being out there hurts, but I mean, nobody in this building is working to get back on that field harder than Christian McCaffrey. So, I mean, you have to, these are opportunities for guys like Chuba and Royce, guys to grow and guys to get opportunities. So when he is back in there, some of the load can be taken off of him. They go in there and you don't miss a beat. So, I mean, it's important to have everybody healthy, of course, but I mean, it's the NFL. We all understand that injuries are a thing, and injuries happen, and you just have to deal with them the best way you can.
Side, how did it feel to see Chuba have the kind of game that he did last week?
And I was proud of Chuba. I mean, he fought through a lot, ran hard, protected his behind off in the pass game. I mean, like I said, it's only up for him. I mean, I told Chuba when he got drafted a long time ago, man, that, you know, I watched him play at Oklahoma State. So I remember, you know, seeing some of the things that he can do, and I was excited to get out here on the field and play with him. And he, you know, he's settling into his role. He's settling into, you know, himself being in the NFL. And, I mean, you're only going to continue to see good things from him.
The outside noise a second ago. How hard is it to just live your life and not see messages on your phone or text or hear things on the radio? How hard is it to actually cancel out that noise?
I mean, it used to be harder, especially as a young guy. But, you know, being in the NFL for a while now, I mean, you just deal with it. You know, for me personally, I don't really do the social media during the season or stuff like that because, you know, people get a lot of this stuff confused and they think football is real life, but they don't understand who we are in real life. So, you know, they can say whatever they want on a screen or on a monitor or whatever, but 9 times out of 10, those same people saw us. They'd ask for a picture or autograph. So, I mean, that's just how you put things in perspective. But, you know, it is what it is. It's exactly what I said before, noise. Everybody in this locker room understands that we have to go out with a sense of urgency and that we have to go out and we have to perform better than we have. And everything else that comes from the outside in, you know, that's just, like I said, it is what it is. You know, you just disregard it. We laugh about a lot of this stuff, so, you know.
Did it take you a couple years, though, to develop a little bit of a thick skin like that?
Yeah, most definitely. When I was in college, I was, you know, very underrated. So I looked at things like that and things that people said about me, and I used it as motivation. I tried to do the same thing when I got to the NFL, but it's like, you know, you see one thing, and then it's like 100 people responding to this, and then it's like 50 more people responding to this. So, you know, it kind of gets out of hand. But like I said, man, you just got to have laser focus. You got to ignore everything that's happening out there. This is a hard game to play. A lot of people don't really get that. They just look at it and they want to see touchdowns and 60, 70-yard runs. And that's not the game. I mean, yeah, it happens when you take advantage of, you know, looks that you get. But, I mean, this is when you're on good teams, you understand, like, what style of play you have to play with. And we understand what style of play we have to play with. And we haven't done that the last couple of weeks. And you've seen our production drop. But there's still good things within it, you know. It's not all bad. So you just got to take, you know, it's learning for everybody.
What style of play do you have to play with?
I mean, we have good running backs in the backfield. We have to be able to run the ball effectively and run it consistently throughout the entire game and control the clock. Our defense, I believe, is elite. We have a lot of young guys on this defense that are hungry to get better. We have a lot of young guys on this defense who are very talented. And we just have to continue to give those guys the opportunities to, you know, grow into those roles. So, like I said, man, just managing the game, running the ball effectively, you know, and, you know, just passing the ball, taking the shots when we need to, you know, here, there. You know, Sam does his thing. So, I said, man, we know as the O-line we have to protect better, and we know we have to do things more efficiently for him.
Practice the last couple of weeks. Notice anything differently, be either aggressiveness or anything the last couple of weeks as opposed to maybe the first 3 weeks or the first 4 weeks of the season? Notice anything different?
To be honest, not really, man. I mean, we go out there and we try to get better every day. The biggest thing, and this is something that we talked about earlier, it was just going out and doing intentional work. Being intentional about what you want to get better at every day. You know, when you look at this game, it all seems so big. It seems like it's so much going on. And I mean, it's true in a way, in a lot of ways. But, you know, once you prioritize what you have to do individually to get better every day, you know, those are the things you think about. You know, I'm not thinking about pass routes. I'm not thinking about concepts for that. I'm thinking about the guys we're playing in front of, the guys we're playing across from us on defense. I'm thinking about the techniques I need to use, things that I didn't do well prior to that game, you know, going out and trying to correct those things and just, you know, focusing and being intentional about that. So